With Craft completely installed, let's go ahead and take a minute and look at the Craft control panel, get a short tour of it, and start to understand what is where and how things work. So first thing we'll do is we'll log on, and we get to this login screen by going to craftycoffee.test/admin. And if we're not logged in, it will log us in, and then click login. So here is the dashboard for the control panel. Here we have these little widgets where you can very easily get some help or give feedback. It also lets you know about updates, latest news, and then any recent entries. And you can add new widgets right here if you wanted to. You can even add like an RSS feed if you want to pull in an external feed. Show the new users that have been added. If I click save, it'll show me new users and recent entries you can have here. Of course, we already have one. And then to remove something, you just click on the gear and cancel it. And to remove something, you just go to the gear menu, you find it and exit out like that. You can also arrange how much space these take. So you can kind of get some arrangement here, whatever makes the most sense for your site. And of course, you could even write your own custom widget if you were into that and had the ability to write the PHP code to create the custom widget. So over on the left, we have our basic user interface. And we have here first our users. And this gives us access to any users in the system. Right now, we just have one, which is my user, the admin user. And then we also have GraphQL, and this is available if you're on Pro. And this is the GraphQL server that comes now built into Craft. And then there's utilities. The utilities section is really handy for getting information about the application. If you go to System Report, you get application info like your current PHP version, your OS version, MySQL, the version of Craft, Twig, and Yi. If any plugins are enabled, modules. Craft comes default with a module called My Module. And then here, whether you've met the requirements. And as you can see here, I'm a little short on memory and max execution time. You can click on the I, and you can see it'll tell you that this is what is recommended or required, and this is what we have. Same thing here and here, so I'll need to adjust these. We can also get PHP info that's helpful for debugging. Any system messages that are sent, you can work on here. The queue manager manages the queue and the pending jobs. Here's where you manage your caches. Here's where the deprecation warnings are reported. This is handy as Craft deprecates certain things, especially in Twig. It'll report here. Easy way to make a database backup. You can find and replace in the database. And then for any content migrations. And this is still a process that requires some PHP programming, so not sort of a plug and play option yet. And then all the way at the top, I left for last, are any updates. This is where you will see any updates for Craft or for any installed plugins. Then going down further to settings, if you're an admin user, you have access to the settings, and this is where you start to configure the site. In fact, this is where we'll spend most of our time in this course, is configuring the site. We'll build out some fields. We don't have any yet, and field groups, and we'll build out some content sections. And we'll also learn about how to create asset volumes. And you can also manage your plugins here, and also just your general settings like your system name, whether it's on, your time zone. I'm going to change that from the default to, let's go up to UTC -6. We'll go to America, Chicago for Central Time. We can add a logo for that login page where it said Crafty Coffee and a site icon as well. So we'll save that. And then finally, the plugin store, which we'll talk about a little bit later when we talk about Craft plugins. So that's the ins and outs of the control panel, starting with the dashboard. We're going to be using this control panel throughout the course, so you'll get really familiar with how to navigate around and get to things quickly.